But no one back in the days was doing that when at school when I was 15, 16 years old. They were all partying, drinking, all these kinds of stuff. But I didn't want to do that because I knew it affected my business. So the only people that could relate to me at that time were the Muslims. The only people that were not drinking, were waking up early. They were waking up early for Fajr. I was waking up early for my business. And somehow I was really related with that small group of Muslim brothers at the age of 15, 16 years old. So that's how I got introduced to Islam at a young age.
How did you first hear about Islam?
Alhamdulillah, I didn't grow up with really having bad thoughts or negative association with Islam. No one could relate with me when I was younger, 15, 16 years old. Everyone was partying. Everyone was gaming, following their desires, everything. But there was just one group that constantly were just really relating to me. I mean, they were also not drinking for other reasons than what I was believing at that time. They were also waking up early. They were waking up for Fajr, but I was waking up because I wanted to grow my business and learn about life and all these kinds of stuff. So that's, I think, the moment when I was really attached to them. I started to be really attached to them. I'm even at some age when I was 16, 17 years old, I remember that my dad said like, why are you only hanging around with Muslims, you know, Moroccans and Turkish people? I was like, I don't know. I just feel better with them. They have common beliefs. They have common thoughts. And even back then, a lot of these brothers also said, you are already a Muslim. You believe in something higher. You believe in alcohol is bad, all these kinds of stuff. You're already a Muslim. They said this. But back in the days, I refused it because I didn't felt that white people could be Muslim back in the days. I thought it were Arabs. I thought it were, but alhamdulillah, every single day, every single year, I learned more about it. At some point, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opened my heart. When I started my business when I was 16 years old, the first couple of months were pretty simple. But at some point, I started to hit more successes because I was really dedicating to that journey. So at the age of 17, I already was making like 2K a month. At some point, I started making even more, which was very good for my age at that time. I started traveling. I started doing these amazing things. So I felt like I was on top of the world. I had everything at some point. But at some point, I started making mistakes in my business. I started spending more than what was coming in. And at that moment, when I was pushed back down to my knees, I also moved back from Amsterdam to the city that I grew up in.
As towards eternity, we need your support. We are a charity organization that aims to spread the message of Islam to the entire world in 10 languages. With your support, you can help people convert to Islam, give up harams, start praying, wear hijab, learn to read the Quran, and so on. And get your share from all these good deeds, inshallah. Donate to Towards Eternity and don't miss this golden opportunity.
I remember that Ramadan came up when I was like really at a low point in my business. I was really experiencing all these negative thoughts and Ramadan was there. So a few brothers said like, hey, let's just join us for iftar, let's have a meal together. And I really enjoyed that. We had conversations to deep in the night about the meaning of life. And that was all I needed at that moment because I was actually feeling really horrible of all of the things that I just experienced in my business and all of that. But they gave me so many insights and I was asking them very critical questions, but every question that I asked them was giving me more faith back in life. It was giving me more purpose, more meaning. And I started seeing the lessons that I actually needed to learn. So the other day after that, they said, hey, you can join us again for iftar. And I said, okay, but then I need to fast as well.